Hi HPC, Rory here. This is my rather less technologically advanced video than David's excellent video, which I hope you've seen either through the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, and which will be in time on our new website. But I just want to give you a little bit of Bible encouragement this Friday morning using this brilliant book, To Seek and to Save, which Sinclair Ferguson wrote. It's a Lent book. We sold about 35 copies, I think, in church. Just wanting to help our families, help us as individuals, use the time in the run-up to Easter to grow in our love for Jesus. And one of the things I'm finding so brilliant about him as an author is he really digs hard into the text of the Bible and brings out the treasure that's in it. I'm doing it just before bed, so I'm a day behind, if you like. But last night I was reading from Luke 18, just 3 verses. Luke 18, verses 15 to 17, and a story I thought I knew pretty well. It's the story of parents bringing their children to Jesus and the disciples pushing the children away, and Jesus saying, no, 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 let the children come to me, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. He made the point, which was one of those why hadn't I seen that before type moments for me. He made the point that the parents were bringing their children to Jesus, that Jesus, as King of God's kingdom, might bless them. They were asking him to touch their children, to bless them. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I've got lots of things going on in my mind, lots of things going on in my day of things that I want for my children. I fully intend for them to be fed and washed and dressed, but actually the things that I'm concerned about are how are we going to manage with not enough screens for all the children to do their schoolwork on? How are we going to manage with the inevitable family squabbles that will arise? How are we going to keep them exercised? How are we going to keep them in touch with their friends? And this passage just reminded me that the very most important thing I can do for my children, not that those things aren't important, but the most important thing I can do is to bring them to Jesus in prayer, to pray daily, Lord, please, will you bless my children? Sinclair Ferguson finishes like this. He says, commit them to Jesus in prayer and let them know that, and then teach them how to respond to him, that's Jesus, in love and faith. In the links under this video on the Facebook page, I'm just going to put up a couple of things which I find helpful when I'm praying for my children. I have actually taken 31 things off this blog post and put them onto a piece of paper, and it sits there in my prayer list, and each day, using the date of the month, I pray that thing for my children and for my godchildren. And I'll also put a link to this brilliant book, The Wonder of Easter. Ed Drew was with us, now the right way up. Ed Drew was with us last year, you'll remember him, and loads of great resources for all different ages of family, which will help us to teach our children what it means to be loved by Jesus and how to respond to that love in faith. In the light of what we said last Sunday evening in church, this isn't just a job for grandparents or for parents or for godparents, although it is a job for all of those groups of people. But actually, as we saw last Sunday evening, we are a church family, and we have responsibilities towards one another and towards the children of our church. So could you today bring the children of our church to Jesus in prayer and ask him to bless them? I hope you have a good day.